Welcome to the greatest place in the world. That is my doghouse. I hope you're all having a great day. I know I am as usual. It's fun to always have a great day. There's a lot less you have to worry about when you have a great day because it's always a lot more fun than having a bad day. We all have bad days, definitely, itchy nose, but not too much we can do about that. Mostly, I'm here to talk about food. And when I get in food here in a little bit, is we all have choices what we like and what we don't like. And I always like to know what people like and what they don't like when it comes to food. That it's any of my business, but it's just interesting to me what people will eat and won't eat. And I'm the biggest culprit of people scratching their head of things I'll eat. That's like I love oatmeal, but I don't want it cooked. I get the oatmeal, put it in a bowl, and put milk on it, put some sugar on it, and I eat it. Everybody goes, "Ooh, that puts a lot of weight in your stomach." I go, "Yeah, but that's how I like to eat it." Now, we'll eat it cooked, but I much prefer it that way. Just grab a bowl, put milk on it, and eat it. Other things we like or don't like in some cases, but I do like is called cornmeal mush. It wasn't my favorite, but it was okay here and there growing up. Cornmeal mush is a lot of people won't get what it's like. Some people have said, and I haven't had this, some people says it's similar to grits, only one's cornmeal. I can't tell you one way or other. All I know is what cornmeal is. Never ate grits. So it might be good. Cornmeal, I'd probably once or twice a week growing up, mom would fix it. Loved her homemade pancakes, and that was a staple for in the mornings a lot of times. She'd make the homemade pancakes and homemade maple syrup. And I love homemade maple syrup today. My wife don't care for it, but I love it. And it's a big difference when it's made at home than going to the store and buying it. Completely two different things. Even though most are both are maple, just different. Because at home there wasn't a lot of additives in it. And I don't think any of us kids didn't like it. Now, eggs always had to have them over easy or scrambled. Hard boiled once in a while was okay. That which, growing up, I do over 90% of the cooking at home, always have, because I love to cook and partly because I'm very picky. I really am. I mean, I don't I love carrots, I love peas. Hi, John. Carrots and peas are great if they're not cooked. I will not eat them if they're cooked. I will eat them raw all the time. We had about a quarter of an acre of ground growing up. You get 10 kids, okay, but a quarter acre garden. And my dad used to get me mad at me and this one dog we had. And I don't remember it because I'm young enough, I don't. But I guess I'd take the dog and we'd go out and eat peas and carrots out of the garden. And my dad would always say, "Ruby, go get that damn kid and dog out of the garden." If he didn't see me around and he knew that it was that time of year, he knew exactly where I was at. And he always got funny thing because he could never figure out why I wouldn't eat them if they was cooked. It always had to be raw. Oh yeah. Well, and it's funny because my older brothers and sisters, I only have one younger sister. The other eight are older than me, but every one of them prefer it cooked except me. I'm just picky, I guess. Spinach, obviously, I want it cooked, or broccoli, I want it cooked. Corn has to be cooked. Potatoes, I'll eat them raw because we live in Idaho. I'll eat a raw potato, cooked potato, french fries, whatever. And, we had a potato salad all the time. That was good. We loved that, or I did. Very little chicken. But what I will do at home with chicken is I'll put it in a crock pot, put barbecue sauce on it, let it cook like you do in a crock pot, then take it out, and it falls off the bone. You get the meat out, eat it, obviously. Hopefully, you won't share it with the dogs. Mine always want it. But then we take it and obviously eat the chicken. But the next day, we take the barbecue sauce and put hamburger in it and make it sloppy joes out of it. So we're almost getting 2 meals for one that way. And I love the sloppy joes more than the chicken, obviously. Yeah, I'm picky eater. I'll eat fried chicken here and there. Wings I'll eat, hot wings and that. Not a lot, but I will eat it like that. But boiled chicken, gross. Gross to me. And I know I get laughed at all the time because I don't like boiled. Even growing up as a kid, hey, Demon Cat, that I didn't like boiled chicken. Uh, and my mom, she had this thing. She flat out refused to buy noodles in a store. There's no way she'd go to the store and buy noodles. She had to make them. And every one of my siblings and my dad loved, except me. Boiled chicken, it was out. Thanksgiving, we don't have turkey because I don't eat turkey. Sometimes I'll fix my wife a turkey, but I won't eat any of it. Her and the dog piece on it. Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of a picky eater at times. I love my beef. I love my pork. And even though I ate it as a kid, I really didn't care a lot for it. We had mutton anytime we wanted. Yeah, turkey's bad. I just don't care for it. Even when mom was doing the school lunch, one room schoolhouse, but she was the cook and they all loved her noodles except me. And I don't care if it's store bought or homemade. And I just don't like chicken that much, and definitely not boiled. But the mutton we had a abundance of all the time. Yeah, yuck. But mutton and lamb, everybody says the same thing. No, lamb's younger, mutton's older. Mutton, when you first cook it, whether it's a roast or a steak, I cannot stand either one after it's leftovers. It is so greasy. Most people don't realize how greasy mutton really is. But believe me, I was raised on it, so I know what it's like. And it's yuck. And that's funny. I got a friend. He was from Greece. He's passed away of cancer. He had a restaurant. And he decided, and he was Greek. And he decided he was going to get a gyro machine and set it up. And he gave me a sandwich to try. Yeah, lamb is yuck. But we're sitting there and he says, "Here, try this. This is what I'm going to start making." I bit into it and I go, "Hey, and I didn't know what kind of all the meat was in it. I said, "There's lamb in this gyro meat." He goes, "What? How do you know that?" I said, "I can taste it. I grew up on it." And I said, "It's okay, a gyro, but I know it's there." He laughed and he says, "You know how many people don't realize there's lamb in real gyro meat?" I said, "I can taste it." And I understand a lot of people couldn't taste it, but it is in a gyro or a real gyro meat. There's other, I say gyro, I know that ain't exactly right. Okay. But yeah, lamb, and and I hate lamb. I mean, even when they're alive on the ranch, the guy dad worked for, 2 different ones had sheep, and they both had cattle. Well, the cattle I didn't mind, but the and this is kinda off of the meat thing here for a minute, is anybody that don't understand this should really understand this. Hey, mustard is good. Anything that don't understand this, what I'm going to say, but it's 100% real. When you do your lamb shoring and that, you get them all shored. I never shored, but I was at the other end of pushing them in. But when they get all shored, you pick leaders in that bunch of sheep and you put bells on them. Well, when they go to the pasture or mountains in this case, a sheep will hear that bell, and if the lead sheep jumps off that cliff, others will follow with no rhyme or reason. Just because it went off, they will go off. True story that they really do that. It's just so interesting on things. I know a lot of things that some don't because I wasn't around it. That's not makes me any smarter. It don't. Like one time, and I hope none of you eat Reese's potato salad. It's okay if you do, but I used to load trucks for a while for Reese's here, and they were putting the worst of the worst calls, which is the bad potatoes. And the guys would hate it when they come in because we just dump it in their trucks. And when it went back to Reese's, they'd pick the whole reefer up and dump them. But they would buy the worst of the worst potatoes for their Reese's potato salad. True story. I loaded the trucks. The semi drivers hated it because the smell was really bad when they got them out. I like German potato salad. I have a friend, she's in her 80s now, but she was actually from Germany, and she tells me how much she loves that, and she told me, and I don't do this. I She says back there, and she'll do it, and her kids just gag over it. They like getting a piece of hamburger, just raw hamburger, put salt and pepper on it, and eat it. Her kids go crazy when she does that. Every other meat she has to be really done for her, but for whatever reason, because she was around that as a kid, she'd still eat it that way now and then. It's just amazing to me how that works. To me, raw hamburger, yeah. Now with me though, like bacon, I love bacon, but I don't want it hard. If it's a little soft and barely cooked, that's the way I like it. My wife's totally opposite. She wants hers very well done. I don't wanna bite into something that's comes flakes when you eat it. Hamburger, I just want it barely cooked, the red out of it. My steaks, on the other hand, I want 'em medium rare. I don't want them cooked more than that. My wife, once again, she wants hers well cooked. I just don't believe in taking a chainsaw to meat and eating it. Then growing up too, and this is funny, and my mom and dad figured this out. Oh, I love vegetables. I Over the years, I still eat meat. Obvious where I grew up, you do that. I find myself to eat less meat, more soups, stuff like that the older I get. I don't do hardly any steaks anymore, once in a while. usually hamburger, but it can't be cooked, so it's a Frisbee. But yeah, if I have breakfast, I usually have some hash browns, eggs, and well, the meat sometimes is ham or sometimes bacon. I love sausage, but boy, I tell you, that's greasy stuff wherever you go. And sometimes my stomach don't take that very well, so I have to watch that. A good example of my stomach, not to kill food, but you go out and get this Opalmazil out of the store, it's like 2 milligrams. Well, I'm on a prescription one that's 20 milligrams. Big difference for the stomach there. And it's really, really crappy too to have to do that.